Hey, what's up team? This is Eddie Gray. Welcome back to the channel. This is going to be a video on Elektron's Analog Heat. I've had it over a month now. It's a stereo processor that can give you a little bit of shimmer, a little bit of saturation, or can completely decimate your song in the best way possible. Before we start, go ahead and like the video, go ahead and subscribe. It'll greatly help out what I'm up to here. As a reminder, we are doing a free plugin giveaway on the channel. Check out the last video for all of the various details. Let's get into Elektron's Analog Heat. Let's go. Alright, so I've got this connected by means of a USB-C cable. It's connected to the back of the computer. You can also use a USB port, works totally fine. I do recommend that you use this with lower buffer settings in order to really optimize the unit. Analog Heat has 8 different circuits, again going from super basic, nice saturation blending with completely outrageous sounds. Beautiful multi-mode filters that sound amazing, some low and high shelves that sound remarkable, and so much more. I've got this connected to a basic keyboard part. You can check it out here. Okay, so that's off, and again you can turn this on. I'll use the foot switch. This is with it on. So off. Most of what you find on the software can be found on the hardware as well. There are a couple disparities. It's a little easier to work with the software, but there's not a lot of pages on the unit, and to be honest, it's just quite a delight to work with it. And as you can see, it sounds really beautiful. Let's talk about the bottom 3 knobs really quick. So you can send as much drive as you want, you can be as subtle as you want, but my favorite thing is that you can use a dry wet knob to really control the sound, and I'll show you that in a second. But the wet level is, to me, the best of the 3 because I can take whatever wet level I have and increase it or decrease it. So let me show you what I mean. Here is the sound completely dry. I'll then start blending the wet signal, and I'll go all the way to the right to signify the 100% fully wet sound. So I backed off to a place that was tasteful. Now I'll take that wet level and try and find the sweet spot. As mentioned, we do have a low and a high shelf. Okay, so let's listen to those kind of ideas and decisions in the context of the mix. So here's off. And here's on. So that sounds amazing, right? Another one of the cons that I realized when I started going back and forth here was there is no input level to be found on the hardware. And I could be completely wrong on that, so if any of you have this, let me know. But I can only find an input level on the software. As mentioned, you can be as simple as you want in terms of how saturated it is, but you can also go really nuts like this. So you can be simple or you can be aggressive like this. You can change presets within the software, and you can also reach over and grab the knob on the top right and change presets from there. Alright, so again, 8 analog circuits. We've got the drive wet level and the dry wet parallel processing. Then we have the filters on the right, both shelving, and then a bunch of different filters down here, which you can select with these buttons. To disable the filter, you simply click both of those buttons at the same time. You've got your parameter pages in amplifier, filters in EQ, envelope, and LFO, and then you have 4 dials which basically allow you to play with all the parameters within the pages. Like I said, pretty simple build all around. It doesn't take a lot to learn the unit. You have a settings menu up here, and I was up and running within just a couple of hours. There's a couple of different intricacies, and of course I highly recommend reading the manual, but just as a whole it was really easy just to get up and running. Now, of course, how deep do you want to go down the rabbit hole? That's up to you. And that's why this will be a 3-part series, because there's just way more to talk about. But let's put this on the master channel and see what kind of work it does on a grander scale. All right, so here we are. We're going to add this on the master channel. And this is a very simple preset I created called Clean Boost. You can see I'm driving a little bit. The filters are off in this specific instance. I do have the high shelving filter up significantly, and that's going to add a lot of air to my song. Something that I love to do for choruses is just add some EQ when we get to those sections. But other than that, it's pretty much just a nice clean boost. As I said, I can't find the input gain on the unit, and so I was able to bring that down here within the software. So let's listen to this before, and then I will bring this in a couple seconds in. Here we go. All right, so that's what I'm talking about, is it gave you that extra warmth that I really wasn't getting without it. And so there's not a lot that I'm doing, but whatever technology is within the box is really adding a lot to my track here. So that's something that I can do. I can also really start to add a bit of dirt by means of filter dirt here. So let me go ahead and just add that with the expression pedal that I have here underneath the desk. All right. And so then now that can, let's say, be connected to LFO number 1 or LFO number 2, and you can do all sorts of crazy stuff. But again, stay tuned for video 2. Let's listen to this before. So for mastering, I think this is absolutely ideal. Trying to get closer to that analog sound, I really think analog heat is the way to go. The cons, as I said, input gain, I don't know where it is. Also, you can only use 1 instance of it per unit if you're interested in complete recall and stuff like that. But if you're just going to write drums, beats in, sequencers, whatever, then that's fantastic, because you'll just record straight into the DAW without the need for recall. So the pros really speak for themselves, right? You can distort with complete freedom. You can saturate with complete freedom. The filters sound really beautiful. They almost remind me of the Moog filters. You've got 8 different ways to saturate, distort a signal. You can actually use this with mid-side processing, something I didn't show you, but up here within the software, you can change this to mid-side. It sounds absolutely amazing, and that's really the big selling point here. I haven't even talked about the 3 modulation destinations, so we will stay tuned for that. But for now, go ahead and like the video, go ahead and subscribe. Thank you so much for your support. If you're liking Elektron Analog Heat, Tell me what you think about it in the comment section. And if you don't tell me why, I'm really curious to hear your thoughts on it. But I think this pound for pound is the best unit for anyone wanting to take that step into the world of analog. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you're interested in more, we have a lot more coming. So anyway, I'm gonna get out of here. Stay up, stay happy, stay focused on what you want, and I will catch you on the next one. Cheers.